Rebirth, Renaissance, a time of glorious wealth and prosperity, a time where merchants and city-states in 15th century Italy battled for the ultimate supremacy over the lucrative trade of goods, where growing and amassing wealth was what the merchant and the noble class so desired. The Renaissance, where artists like Leonardo da Vinci created some of the greatest works of art ever, such as the surpassingly realistic Mona Lisa. The Renaissance, a period of European history where scientists such as Copernicus and Galileo challenged and proved the church wrong on their beliefs of a sun-centered universe. Renaissance, an explosion of artistic activity and science. There are many reasons for this dynamic outpouring of creativity and versatility, but it was a reconciliation of peace, knowledge, and the endeavor for distinction of the remunerative, financially rewarding trade of merchants and explorers alike that brought on the spirit and the period we now know as the Renaissance. Why did certain places, such as Florence and northern Italy, experience an innovation in ability and knowledge? There were many conditions in modern-day northern Italy that led to the seething cauldron of artistic and scientific initiatives that took place. But the leading condition was trade. Trade from the Asias, China, and India, trade from the Arabs, and trade with the Egyptians. Trade. Trade was very important because of the economy it reinforced and the power which was grossed from it. By this we mean that with the aggregation of the fall of the feudalistic fiefs and the switch from an agriculture-based economy to a new possessive-centered trade-based economy, trade played a larger role in the daily life. And then when competing, patronizing merchants obtained power, the Renaissance exploded with new ideas. This newly reformed class, composing of merchants, experienced a rise to prominence and power during the Renaissance period and controlled the government and the people due to their sheer amass of wealth. Merchants impacted the cultural lifestyle of the Renaissance by competing within themselves, becoming patrons, and sponsoring artists. This is to manifest their financial power. By this we mean that due to the high political competition that was expressed through patronage, it gave way to an art market that was never seen before. Patronizing was not only a form which expressed wealth, but power. Power is a key concept of the Renaissance, and let's see how certain groups and merchants gained their power. The desire to keep pace with the public culminated with the strive for excellence or the desire of virtuosity through the access to trade routes. By this we mean that merchants aspired to possess ultimate superiority over other distinct merchant groups by having access and finding other trade routes to meet the needs of the public. This was because of the deplorable productivity of the Silk Road. This necessity for the superior trade routes became more evident and more urgent when the Moorish stronghold Ceuta was captured by the Portuguese and when the Turks and the Ottoman conquered Constantinople in 1453. The answer to better trade routes was cooperation. European kings, queens, merchants, and sailors pooled together their vast money and resources. A significant and remarkable response ensued. For example, Prince Henry of Portugal invested and made a school of navigation at Sagres, which allowed improvements in shipmaking and created a place where learning and geographical knowledge could be accumulated. At the same time, however, the Italians gathered vital information about sea navigation from the Jewish and Muslim scholars who garnered their knowledge from the time of the Greek and Roman empires. From all this knowledge, a prosperous time known as the Age of Exploration followed. But was it as peaceful as some are deceived into thinking? The reality is that, though the Age of Exploration was a time of expanding, the plundering and the slavery and the looting that was done by the Europeans should be kept in mind. An example of this was the Portuguese and Spain exploits of the Aztec and Incan gold mines and villages. Columbus's misuse and abuse of the Taino people is just one of the many atrocities that he and many others committed. Quote, Columbus exploited our people. He ordered every one of us to bring him a thimbleful of gold every 3 months. Those who couldn't had their hand chopped off and were led to bleed to death. He diminished our population. We believe that our people at Taino will be no more. These events, lamentable or illustrious, made Portugal and Italy lead the rest of Europe in exploration of new ideas and concepts, and of course, power.